Hey everyone, welcome back to my Mexican kitchen here in Switzerland. It's starting to get quite hot here in my area and we still want sweet stuff, but baking isn't always an option because you don't want to heat up your house. So the dessert I have for today is one you do have to bake, but it's such a short amount of time that with the baking that it doesn't heat up the kitchen, it doesn't heat up the house, and it's super yummy, so I know you guys are going to love it. It's a strawberry roulade, or in the US we call them Swiss rolls. So I hope you guys enjoy the recipe. The ingredients you need to make the pastry or the dough for your roulade are 4 egg yolks, 4 egg whites, 100 grams of sugar, 10 grams of vanilla sugar. Here in Switzerland I find the little envelopes with the flavored sugar already, but if you can't find that in your local supermarket, what you do is you weigh 10 grams of normal sugar and you add 1/4 teaspoon of vanilla extract just to add the flavor yourself, 100 grams of flour, 1 pinch of baking powder. For the filling, you need 250 milliliters of double cream, 10 grams of vanilla sugar, 400 grams of strawberries. Okay, so to get started, we're going to put in our bowl the 4 egg yolks. Out of the 100 grams of sugar I asked for in the recipe, we're going to weigh out 60 grams from there. And we're going to put the 10 grams of vanilla sugar. Like I mentioned before, here in Switzerland in the supermarket, you can get these little packages of vanilla sugar. So if you don't want to make your own vanilla sugar, you maybe don't have the vanilla extract, and you can find these in your supermarket, you can use one of these. And we're going to whisk them all together, all the ingredients together, until the egg yolk is pale, it's creamy, it's smooth, and the sugar has dissolved. Okay, so the next step is we're going to add our egg whites to a bowl and we're going to whisk them until they are stiff peaks. Meanwhile, while we're whisking, we're going to be adding the sugar little by little. We had 100 grams of sugar in the bowl and we already used 60 with the egg yolk, so the 40 remaining are the ones that we're going to be adding little by little into the egg whites until we have the stiff peaks. Okay, so the egg whites are nice stiff peaks, the egg yolk was whisked, and the next step is we're going to add that egg yolk to the egg whites, and then we're going to sift the flour and the baking powder into the mixture, and we're going to mix it in by folding it gently with a spatula. We don't want to lose all the volume we did while whisking the egg whites, so that's the next step. Okay, so the dough for our Swiss roll or roulade is it's ready. So the next step is we're going to put it on a tray which has been previously lined with baking paper. You have to spread it out evenly so you can help yourself with a spatula. And the important part is do not get off the baking paper. It has to stay, the dough has to stay on the baking paper, and you have to keep a nice rectangular form. So spread it out evenly on the paper and keep it in a rectangular form so that your roulade has a nice shape. I'm preheating the oven at 200 degrees Celsius or 390 Fahrenheit. And once it's ready and you've spread it out, you're going to bake it for 10 minutes at that same temperature. Okay, so the dough or the bread for the Swiss roll or roulade is ready. When you're reaching the end of the 10 minutes, so let's say around minute 7, you have to keep a close eye on it because some ovens tend to overcook and burn things. So your bread is supposed to be just golden. It's not supposed to be burned. It has to be evenly golden. Once it looks like this, then it's fine. You can take it out even if it hasn't reached the 10 minutes. The next step is we're going to slide the bread off our tray, and we're going to put the tray on top so it cools down slowly, but the heat somehow keeps it cooking and moist. And meanwhile, we're going to make the filling. Okay, so for the filling, we're going to add the heavy cream or double cream into our bowl, and we're going to whip it. Once it's whipped, We're gonna add the vanilla sugar. I made my own. I didn't use the one from the envelope. I just added the vanilla to the sugar like I mentioned in the beginning of the video. And we're just gonna slightly mix that in. Don't over whip, otherwise your cream turns into butter. And last but not least, you're gonna add the strawberries. I chopped them up very finely. They're not even or anything, they're just small pieces. And with the spatula, we're gonna mix that in, and that's gonna be the last part of our filling. Okay, so let's start putting our roulade together, or our Swiss roll. For starters, what I recommend is that you get the pastry off the paper, the parchment paper, and then once it's completely off the paper, you can give it a slight roll just so it starts getting the form of the roulade, how it should be. Once you finish rolling it, then you can spread on your filling, spread it out evenly, and at the end, at where you're gonna finish rolling it, I wouldn't put too much filling, because since you're rolling, you're pressing out the filling, and then you're just gonna have to scoop that out. So in order to scoop out less filling, I wouldn't put too much at the end. And basically the roulade is eaten cold. So what you have to do is you have to refrigerate it, and you have to keep it either in a towel, or you could keep it in the paper so that it keeps its form and it doesn't dry out. Right now I'm not gonna do that because I want to show you guys how it looks rolled out on the platter. But what you would do is you just leave it in the paper or in the towel, and you keep it in the refrigerator until you're ready to eat it. And you can decorate it with powdered sugar or with some whipped cream and strawberries. That's up to your imagination and liking. So let's get our roulade ready. Okay, so we're done with our roulade, or our Swiss roll, depending on how you know it. This is how it looks without decorating. I'm not going to put any powdered sugar or whipped cream or anything, because I want to take pictures so I can put it on the video, on the beginning of the video. But this is how it looks without decorating, so it still looks really nice. I mean, the bread is even and pretty and fluffy and golden. It's a really nice dessert, especially if, like I said in the beginning, if you don't want to heat up your kitchen, but you really want a dessert, this is perfect, especially now with summer, with all the berries growing in the garden, or that you can get them so easily in the supermarket. This is a really good dessert for that. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Don't forget to help me with your subscriptions. See you next time. Thank you for watching the video. I hope you enjoyed it. Please watch the other videos. Just click on the links, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Thank you.